Imagine if, after saving up to buy a nice little apartment, you discovered that one or more of your neighbours was running an illegal brothel right next door.
With its stunning design and intricate vertical gardens, Sydney's Central Park development has become one of Australia's most desirable addresses. But according to disgruntled residents, some of these white lights have turned red, with reports that Central Park has become a hotbed of illegal prostitution. Sex workers in the building are brazenly using social media and internet forums to advertise their services.
You've got councils such as City of Sydney, Willoughby, North Sydney, Hornsby. They have been complaining and protesting about what is seen as a government responsibility.
But for rankled residents, calling the cops isn't enough to bring this caper to a happy ending. In New South Wales, running an unlicensed brothel isn't a criminal act, it's a zoning issue, which makes it a matter for local councils rather than police. But shutting down an illegal sex operation isn't as easy as you might think. You need proof, which requires a witness, someone who can go in and personally participate in the exchange of sex for cash. Someone like PI Lachlan Jarvis, who has a team of field investigators who specialise in busting illegal brothels.
Some councils are spending in excess of $40,000 per year on trying to source this information for the courts.
So, who are you going to call?
Who are you going to call? We have the guy that you call. He works for the council. He employs guys that come and they go into apartments and have sex with these people to prove that sex is taking place in these apartments. And we're going to chat to him after the break, so don't go anywhere.
I love that this is a council issue.
Yeah, it's a council issue.
Yes, we will go to break. See you in a sec.
Now, before the break, we saw the story about illegal brothels in a Sydney tower block, and private investigator Lachlan Jarvis joins us now. Lachlan, this has taken some people by surprise today. I mean, how widespread are these illegal brothels?
Fairly widespread. They tend to get investigated and knocked over, and then they spring up again after a while because, well, frankly, the laws don't preclude someone like this setting up and starting again after they've been taken to court and taken out.
So your job is to get dudes to go in and find out what's happening inside these apartments. How do you find people, what is their job, and how do you find people to do the job?
It's a good question. There's a select few investigators who are willing and able to take on this work. Believe it or not, most councils and most law firms that engage us actually request that the physical act of some sort is undertaken, and our investigator partakes of those services and then subsequently writes a report on the basis of that.
You talk about an act. What sort of act is required, apart from the obvious? I mean, would a foot rub be enough? At what point is the deal closed, as it were?
Foot rub would not be sufficient, despite the conjecture engaged in Pulp Fiction. It's a bit more serious than that. So you need to have some form of sexual activity. So the Bill Clinton threshold would suffice. Simply put, any form of sexual-related activity where they're not licensed, where they're not authorised to conduct that form of activity, that's a breach.
So the Bill Clinton thing's no saxophone playing, is that? Where
that's out.
That's
noise.
That's noise pollution. That's an entirely different act.
Council laws all over the place, you are, Helena. Now, Lachlan, we're talking about. I want to congratulate you on your job advertisement. I think it's wonderful. I think we have a bit of a graphic here that we can look at, and the requirements are fantastic. I like that you provide training to the right persons.
Do you provide that personally, Lachlan, or?
Look, they call me a desk detective, so I'm. What I do is very limited and very beige compared to what some of our guys engage in.
What sort of training is required, though, for this job?
Well, you have to be licensed. We advertised a few years ago for people to carry out this work, and as you can imagine, we got swamped by applicants.
Yes, we can.
Not just from locally. We got them as far afield as Finland and Turkey and the US and you name it, we got them. But the problem is that they have to be licensed to be an investigator in Australia, and that's a serious requirement. So if there is someone who's licensed in Australia and wants to carry out this work, then by all means get in touch with us, but that licence requirement is a must.
Just one question, Lachlan. The level of pay. Is there, I hate to use this word, but is there a loading for pain and suffering? Like, how does it work?
It's an hourly rate. In my opinion, they're remunerated quite well for the work they do. It's not a time or labour-intensive process. They're required to go and get the evidence right, a report. In short, it doesn't take too long in most cases.
How minimal can the rate get? Is there a 5-minute rate?
Well, that depends on the investigator, I guess, and other factors.
Oh, I love how you've answered these questions.
Oh, it's just unbelievable professionalism.
It is
Lachlan.
professionalism at its best.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Where that wink came from.